I want to very specifically focus my comments on this Mail Online story. There's a dangerous, terribly dangerous trend that has infected the Mail and maybe even the Express, and they're campaigning around this issue of the judiciary in this country. This country, the mother of all parliaments, the exporter of democracy to the world, is so great for the very reason that our judiciary is independent. And guess what? They've always been unelected. Judges are meant to be unelected because it's the judge's job to interpret the law, not to subject themselves to the will of the people. That's not their job. So when the Mail Online runs this story, and in effect goes through a character assassination of 11 of the highest judges in this land who sit on our Supreme Court, and attempts in a childish, puerile 6 degrees of separation approach to link them to Remain campaigners by saying, oh look, this judge has a friend who has a friend who worked down at the corner shop who knows somebody who voted for Remain, and therefore they must be biased. What a ridiculous attempt to undermine the expertise and the presence of the highest judges in this land. If you, patriots, claim to love this country, for God's sake, for the sake of the United Kingdom, for the sake of our country, do not undermine our judiciary. It's what makes our democracy work. Our judges, the Mail says, are unelected. They're meant to be unelected. It's their job to interpret law. It's not their job to be subject to the will of the people and to be populists. The law doesn't bend to the will of the people. This is not a tyranny of the majority. This is a country in which the rule of law presides, and if we have anything to do with it, we'll continue to reign supreme. It's the law that makes this country so great. The English and the United Kingdom as a whole are known for one thing, and that is their deference and respect for the law in this country. And, you know, Paul Dacre, the editor of the Daily Mail, you know, if you're going to make an argument, frankly, that six of these judges have personal links with individuals who've been critical of the Leave campaign, that's a stretch. Look at the desperation in such an argument. 5 have publicly expressed views which appear, not even are, but appear to be sympathetic to the EU. And 4 of the 11 members of the Supreme Court have formal links to either the EU, its courts, or European institutions. Why would you be surprised by that? They're Supreme Court judges in a country that has formal links with the European Union. Of course they're going to have formal links with the European Union until we leave the European Union, because these judges are responsible in part for interpreting European law, which still also is part of our law in this country until we vote in Parliament so that it no longer is. So this is a stretch. It's desperation to consider these judges the enemies of the people. It's frankly, it's disgusting. And you know what I'm going to say? I know people who work at the Daily Mail, and so the editor, Paul Dacre, you're also one removed from a Remain voter. You're also one removed from me, because I know people who report directly to you. Right? So does that make you sympathetic to the Remain campaign because you're one removed from it as well? That's the base level of argument that is being deployed here by a paper that is engaged in something far more dangerous than the argument over Leave or Remain, far more toxic to this country. And that is an argument that will fundamentally undermine our democracy. It's an argument that seeks to character assassinate our judges when they make decisions we don't like. In the end, it's an argument. It's an argument for the end of the rule of law. It's an argument for the end of the parliamentary democracy as we know it. It's an argument for the tyranny of the majority.